Hi, everyone. I hope you can see me and hear me. Let me know in the chat. Just type yes so I know you can hear me and see me. um, Welcome to the Spirit Guide Show. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for letting me know. So, welcome to the Spirit Guide Show. This week, we will be talking about 4 ways to connect with your spirit guides through claircognizance. And by the end of the show, you will know what claircognizance is, how to know if you are claircognizant, and how to use claircognizance to 4 ways to connect um, with your spirit guides through claircognizance. Thank you guys for letting me know. Thanks, Carol, Elisa, Amy, Hero. Thank you guys. And so that's the first part of the show. The second part of the show, I will be doing mini readings for anyone who's never had a reading from me before. And then in the third part of the show, we will do Q&A. So if you have any questions about the first part or spirit guides in general or anything else that has to do with spirit guides, you can ask me questions then. But first, who am I? Who are you watching? My name is Yamile Yemoonyah, and I'm a spirit guide medium, a Hay House author, and founder of Spirit Guide Society. You can find me at thespiritguidemedium.com, and I'll post that in the chat just in case someone is interested. Hold on. Here it comes. Let me know, like, have you ever had sudden intuitive insights, downloads, or a flash of knowledge without knowing where it came from? Type yes or no in the chat. I want to see how many of you have ever had this experience, how many didn't. And yes, you can let me know where you're from as well. Yes, so Maria says yes, Helen says yes, Sequoia says yes. Anyone who's never had this before? Alyssa says yes, or Elisa, I'm not sure, sorry. All right, so that's great. Lots of you already did. Oh, Cameron says yes. Carol says yes. Awesome. You guys are amazing. So while you're at it, like with the typing, share this with anyone who would be interested in this topic. So there's a share button somewhere, depending on which device you're on, but it's somewhere around my face. There's a share button. Use it if you know someone who might be interested in this topic. Also, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, the link in the description, click on the link and come on over to my website or Crowdcast, because only here can you get mini readings and only here can I answer your questions. If there are any tech issues, just reload the page. That usually solves 99% of all the problems. All right, so let me see in the chat. Cameron's from Canada, awesome. Yes, and Hero is here from Japan. He always helps me out, and he's right. So the free readings, the mini readings, are only for people who've never had a mini reading before. Maria is Polish American living in England. Ah, you're just like me. I was born in Colombia, raised by Dutch parents in Germany, and now I live in Spain. All right, so let's start. Let's get going. So what exactly is claircognizance? Most of you might know, but just so we're all on the same page, let me back up a little bit and first tell you about the 6 clairs. So just like we have 5 physical senses, like seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, something else, feeling? No, I forgot one. Just like we have the 5 physical senses. Oh, I actually listed them here. Seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, and smelling. We also have 5 psychic senses, or actually 6. And we all have them. Like any one of you has them, even if you think you don't. We just use them subconsciously because no one told us we had them and how to use them. So it all like happens just like, let's say our heart works subconsciously. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to tell our heart to like pump blood through our veins. The same way our like psychic senses, our intuitive senses just work on their own. These psychic senses are called clairs, and there are 6 of them. There's clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. So when you see spirits, when you see your dead grandmother, when you get visions inside of your head about something that will happen in the future. If you are talking to someone and you get an image that shows you that this person just had a fight with their husband, that's clairvoyance. Then there's clairaudience, which is clear hearing. So that's when you hear things, like when you are half asleep because you just went to bed or you're just in the process of waking up and suddenly hear someone call your name, or you're driving down the street and suddenly you hear a voice outside of yourself or inside your own head that says, take a different route today. And you do, and then you find out there was an accident. That's clairaudience. Then there's clairsentience, which is clear feeling. So that's for all the empaths out there. And we talked about that on the last episode of the Spirit Guide Show. That's when you can feel other people's emotions. That's when you can feel other people's pain. That's when you can go into a room and just feel the vibration, feel like the group energy, these kinds of things. Then you have clairscent, which is clear smelling. That's when, for example, you smell violets, even though you know there aren't any violets around. And that might be your grandmother saying hello because she loved violets. Or you could have, there's also clairgustance, which is clear tasting. So, for example, let's go with the grandmother again. You could suddenly taste like the cookies your grandmother used to bake you. And she has already passed, so it's not her making the cookies, but you just taste it. That's clairgustance. So, and then there's claircognizance. That's what we're talking about today. And that's what you might have experienced as downloads, sudden insights, or a flash of knowledge. It can be described as intuition that appears out of nowhere in your mind. So, how does claircognizance work? With claircognizance, you don't really know where the information comes from. You didn't like get a visual like in clairvoyance. You didn't hear anything like in clairaudience. You didn't feel anything like in clairsentience. You just know. It's just like you know that your friend is going to call, for example, and you know it without knowing why or where it came from. You just know it. It's often perceived, like I said, as sudden downloads of either facts, information, perceptions, ideas, concepts, predictions, premonitions, and other phenomena. Where does the information come from? That's a good question. It can either come from your higher self. It can come from other humans. So you're reading their psychic aura, and that's where the information comes from. It can be your spirit guides. It can be other kinds of beings, like the clouds. Clouds are also sentient beings. Everything is sentient. It can come, for example, some people are really good at reading the Akashic records. That oftentimes happens as claircognizance. And then anything and anyone that has the ability to communicate in this way. So anyone in this 3D reality or in other realities, if they can send you downloads, and then you can perceive them through your claircognizance. And all of these sources use your crown chakra to send you the information. This is where claircognizance happens, up here. Like clairsentience is more in your heart or your belly area. Clairaudience is connected to your third eye, just like clairvoyance. And this is connected to your seventh chakra. All right, so now how to know if you are claircognizant. But let me check the chat first, if there's any questions. Oh, Carol says she's American living in Italy. Awesome. So how to know if you are claircognizant. People who are naturally claircognizant are often analytical, constant thinkers, overthinkers. Let me know if anyone is an overthinker. Just type yes in the chat. I have to type Yes, exactly. Marie says yes. Me too. So big picture thinkers, writers, problem solvers, entrepreneurs or self-employed people, bookworms. So if you love books like me, information gatherers. Wow, lots of you, lots of overthinkers. Let's see. Maria says yes. Helen says she's an overthinker. Amy says, "Oh boy, am I." Elisa says yes. Nicole says yes. Robin, yep. Carmen says very much. Carol says yes. Oh God, I think all of us here are overthinkers. And Helen says, "Call me Mrs. Spock." Yeah. Awesome, you guys. Yolanda says yes. Erica says yes. Yes. Yeah, you're all in the right place here. So yeah, also again, like if you're huge book nerds like me, if you're information gatherers, big thinkers, if you're someone who likes to think about the future, these kinds of things. And people who are naturally claircognizant also enjoy figuring things out, learning through books, and creating visions for the future. So now question, like, do you recognize yourself in that description? Like it doesn't have to all apply to you, but does any of that make sense to you? Amy says 1000%. Awesome. Cameron says yes. Okay. Then those of you, if it doesn't, then also please type no. That would be awesome, actually. Because especially at the beginning of like your spiritual development, it's hard to figure out like, is this claircognizance, is this clairsentience? That's why I keep repeating these things, because at some point it will hopefully like click and you're going to be so, oh yeah, that makes sense. So if you don't find this description useful, and or it doesn't like pertain to you, then think about it like maybe you're more of a like feeler, like clairsentient, that you feel things. These two are sometimes people are not sure which is which, but like again, clairsentient is about feeling. You actually feel it like as an emotion, a feeling, or a sensation in your body. And if claircognizance is really about knowing, it's up here somehow. It's more connected to your mind than your heart or your feelings. All right, so wow, lots of people recognize themselves. Carol says complete. Yolanda says, wow, that is so spot on. Sherry says yes. Alyssa says yes. Helen says yes. All right, so I guess, yeah, you're all claircognizant. And that's why we're gonna explore 4 ways to connect with your spirit guides through claircognizance. So like all the other clairs, claircognizance can be used to connect with your spirit guides. And just like any skill, claircognizance needs practice. Even if you have a natural talent for it, and seems like all of you do, it needs to be developed, just like any other skill. Like you could be really talented in dancing, but if you never danced, then you can't win a competition, right? So try the following exercises repeatedly. Don't give up if it doesn't work right away. Again, this is a skill that needs to be developed. It needs practice. So here are 4 fun and easy exercises that you can do at home. Exercise number 1 is automatic writing. So you set a timer for 20 minutes and then you start writing and you write whatever comes to mind. You're not allowed to stop, like the pen is not allowed to leave the paper. Or if you're typing, you're not allowed to lift your fingers. Just go like stream of consciousness, write down whatever comes to mind. It really doesn't matter what it is. No one's going to read it. It's not going to be published. It doesn't have to be creative. It's just an exercise. And if you don't know what to write, then you just write, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write, until something else pops up. It doesn't have to make sense at all. It's not a story. It's just writing everything down that's like in your mind, whatever it is. Like, I have to do the laundry. I love him so much. I want to live in Alabama, whatever it is, just write it down. Um, and then with time, you will get into a flow because you're not overthinking, because you're just writing. It will stop your overthinking because you force yourself to just keep writing. So as soon as you get into the flow, and that will happen at some point, it might take you 2-3 times to like practice this. Maybe it happens the first time. That's really very dependent on your personality type. Um, and that when you're in that flow, your crown chakra will open. It will open up. You can also do that, and by setting an intention before you start writing, you can visualize like a door opening or a window opening, or like a flower that opens up, whatever visual works for you. And once that crown chakra is open and you're in the flow, your guides can use this exercise to give you messages. And these messages are not going to be like, especially in the beginning, are not going to be making a lot of sense. Maybe like it might just be one little sentence in a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense. And but after, just every time you do this exercise, read through what you wrote. Don't criticize yourself. Again, this is not a competition. And see if there's something in there that inspires you. And if there's something that inspires you, and especially if you don't remember writing it, that's your spirit guide speaking, talking to you. All right. Sequoia says, I never considered doing automatic writing via typing. I think it will work better for me. Yes, I know. A lot of like psychic development teachers say, no, you have to do it by hand, but I do it by typing too, and it works amazingly well for me. So try both. Or if you already know which one you prefer, just go with it. So this was exercise number 1. And exercise number 2 is a crown chakra meditation. So go to YouTube, type in crown chakra meditation or crown chakra healing or crown chakra opening, something like that. There's like thousands of them. Find one you like. Do the meditation, like get comfortable, close your eyes, quiet your mind, and just go with the meditation. Don't do one that's guided, but do one that's just with music. Definitely do it on a regular basis. Like try it for a week every day, or every second day for 2 weeks. And again, visualize your crown chakra opening while you listen to the meditation. Ask your guides to come close, and then ask them to practice with you. So you basically ask them to sit with you and help you practice communicating with them through claircognizance by opening up your crown chakra. And what you do then is like, you don't even ask them any questions for now. You just visualize white light streaming into your crown chakra. You can visualize it coming from the center of the universe, so you know where it's coming from and that it's safe. The center of the universe is always a good source. And practice that a few times, and then see if you get any messages from your guides with that stream of white light. Are there any ideas suddenly popping into your mind? Are there any downloads? Are there any concepts that you suddenly understand? Pay attention to these things. If you want, you can like write it down after, like any kinds of thoughts that you had during the meditation. But don't try to get information, because then you're thinking, and that's not the point. Like if you're thinking, you can't think and get psychic information at the same time. Or you can actually, and we're gonna get there soon in a minute, if you keep your brain busy with something else, because a lot of us, especially claircognizant people, have a hard time like quieting our minds. It's always like chattering away. So if you keep your brain busy doing something else, that helps. You could, for example, do the meditation and stare at a candle at the same, like the little flame of a candle. That keeps you busy, and so your brain is busy and you can get the downloads. All right. Erica says, I will try to, as I feel I need to close my eyes. Yes, that's totally fine. Hero says, crown chakra meditation. Yes, exactly. And Helen says, done without doing crown chakra. Yeah, try it. Try it out. Where are we? Okay. So that was exercise number 2. Exercise number 3 is brainstorming. This is not a very typical exercise for psychic development or talking to your spirit guides, but I know it works because I always do it. Like when I come up with new ideas for like my business, or if I like now that I'm writing my book for Hay House, sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to write or I don't know how to write it, then I'll do this brainstorming exercise. So if you have a problem or need some guidance on something, grab some sticky notes, write the desired outcome on one of them. So something that you want, something, let's say you want to find a new job, then you write on the sticky note, for example, I am open for a new job opportunity to come into my life. Always make sure that you formulate it like in the positive, not as something that you want, not something that you don't want. So don't say, I want to get rid of my old job, because then you're focusing on your old job, not on the new thing. Stick that sticky note to your wall, your door, your window, wherever you want. And then create notes for any relating thoughts, ideas, tools, resources, questions, and other thoughts that have to do with you wanting a new job. So, and then just stick them around. Doesn't matter like where or how, or if it does or if it makes sense. But write in anything that has to do with it. Doesn't matter what it is. Just put it on there. Then take a step back. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Focus for a minute. Try to quiet your mind. Then open your eyes again and start looking for patterns. Like, because you basically did a huge brain dump. All of your thoughts are in sticky notes on your door, wall, window. And you ask your guides to help you organize the sticky notes in a way that it makes sense and to give you additional insights and guidance. So again, look for the patterns in the sticky notes, organize them as you see fit. Just listen to your own intuition. And then see if while you do that, again, you're keeping your mind busy with the problem. At the same time, your spirit guides can give you guidance through claircognizance with downloads, insights that bring additional information to to the problem that you're trying to solve. So this is a little bit complicated, but I really like this one and it works really well for me. So I wanted to share it with you and see if that works for you too. Okay, let me see if there were any questions. Alyssa says, I see people when I meditate. Yeah, that's more clairvoyance. If you see them, that's clairvoyance. Hero asks, what did you say for number 3? Oh, where is it? Brainstorming with sticky notes. So sticky notes are these little like notes that you can, how do you describe them? That you can stick to the wall or somewhere. Erica says, I think I like the sound of this technique. Can't wait to try it. Awesome. All right. And then Maria says post-it notes. Yes. So let's go on to number 4, which is using mantras. So again, think of an outcome you desire and think of outcome, not the problem. Remember? Create a mantra, just like you put something on a sticky note. You can create a mantra. Something like, I am very happy in my new job, or I enjoy my new job. Come up with something. Then set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes. Then sit upright but comfortable, like meditation position, can be on a chair, can be in lotus position. That's totally up to you. As long as it's like upright, because if you lie down, your body is like, oh, it's time to sleep. And then off you are. um, so then close your eyes again. Also take a deep breath. Um, quiet your mind a little bit through breathing, and then repeat your mantra until the timer goes off. Like just keep repeat it, like either quietly for yourself or out loud. Again, this keeps your like mind busy, your brain busy, so your spirit guides can send you information. When the timer goes off, keep your eyes closed and see what thoughts pop into your head. Again, look for downloads, insights, these kinds of things. So, question, which exercise do you like best? And let me know in the chat. So I'll repeat it real quick so you remember. I have to go all the way up, sorry. Okay, exercise 1 is automatic writing. Exercise 2 is crown chakra meditation. Exercise 3 is the brainstorming with post-it notes. And number 4 is mantras. Pick one that you're actually going to try. Even if you like all of them, let me know which one you're going to try first. Okay, Amy says 1 and 4. Helen says all. Yeah, pick one. Cameron says number 2. Maria says brainstorming. Helen says number 4. Nicole number 1. Erica number 2, 3, and 4, but definitely 4 today. Awesome. Yolanda says automatic writing and mantras. Amy says automatic writing. Alyssa says notes. Helen says 2. Sequoia says, I'm most excited to try the auto writing with typing. And when you mentioned envisioning a flower opening at the crown chakra, that really resonated. Awesome. Robin says automatic writing. Yolanda says, I'm going to try automatic writing first. And Carol says 3 first, then 1. Awesome. You have it all planned out. Awesome. So yeah, do that one today. It doesn't have to be long. Even if you just have 10 minutes for automatic writing, do 10 minutes. And then if you're up for it, send me a DM on Instagram and let me know how it went. I'll post a link in the chat right now because I love hearing how these things go for you. So click that, follow me, send me a DM when you've done your exercise. All right, guys, now it's time for the mini readings, part 2 of the Spirit Guide Show. So here's how it works. If you want a mini reading, find the Q&A section, not the chat. It's a different thing. It should be right here if you're on your laptop, like under the video. If not, like scroll around a little bit. If you're on your phone, there's an ask a section and type newbie. Nothing else, no questions, no explanations, just newbie, so I can quickly find you and invite you on screen. So in the meantime, while you do this, there are a few things that you need to know before you can get a mini reading. Number 1 is I have my own definition of spirit guides. You might be used to the one that comes from spiritism, which is that a spirit guide is someone who has passed, who is not related to you, and is helping you on your spiritual path. But he or she must have been a human being. That's the usual definition of spirit guides that most people know. My definition of spirit guides is a little bit different. It's that any kind of being from the higher realms that is connected to you in unconditional love and wants to help you on your spiritual path and in day-to-day life is a spirit guide. So that includes angels, ancestors, the ones that you might have known and ones way further back, nature beings like elves, fairies, gnomes, all these, star beings, otherwise known as aliens. But when I say aliens, people think about scary Hollywood movies. That's not what it's like. ascended masters who were once human beings here on earth but left the reincarnation cycle and are now helping from the other side. It also includes deities, so gods and goddesses, and last but not least, animal spirits. So any of these can come through for you when I do a reading. Also, you all have a team of guides. So the one who has the most important message will be the one to step forward. That might be one that you already know. It might be a new one. It might be one that's just with you temporarily because he or she is helping you with a specific problem or a specific task that you are doing right now. And then the third thing that you need to know, which is the most important, is you get the messages that you need to hear, which might be different from what you want to hear or expect to hear. Again, the spirit guide who has the most important message will step forward. They tell me whatever they tell me, and I tell you what they said. For me, it's a little bit like picking up the phone, and I don't get to dial and see and decide who I'm talking to. I just get to pick it up and see who's there, and then they talk to me, and that's all I can do. That's my part. All right. So let's see if there were any questions. Cameron says, I got a mini reading over a year ago. Well, if there's time at the end, that's fine. Usually there isn't. I'm definitely going to do the newbies first. So if there's more time and I ask if there's anyone else, feel free to remind me. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to look at the ask a question section and... All right, so we're going to go with... Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm going to invite you on screen. You'll get a little notification that asks if you're okay with that. You have to say yes, and then you'll be on screen with me and I can do a reading. Okay, I'm inviting Scorpio, Sag, and I'm inviting a few people at the same time, and I'm just going randomly. I'm just trusting spirit that the right people.
I wish I looked better.
Hi. You look awesome.
Yeah.
So let's see. So I'm going to close my eyes because it helps me to focus. It will take me a few seconds to tune in, and then I'll tell you what I get. All right? Are you ready?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what I'm seeing for you is a fairy that's with you. So a nature being.
My video.
And she's talking about, and I can see her. She has like 4 wings. She loves rainbow colors. She shows herself like a Disney
This
fairy would.
picture.
So,
Picture.
and
Daddy's picture. Daddy's picture.
she is.
Daddy's picture.
I'm going to mute you real
What
quick because
picture
it
is this?
makes it easier. And she tells me, well, she's like just listing things for me, so I have to interpret what that means. She's listing like beauty, fashion, yeah, and she says that's like these are things that you are interested in, beautifying things, interior design, these kinds of things. If that makes sense to you, go like this. If it doesn't, go like this, so I know. Okay, awesome. um, and she says to take that even more seriously. This is not just a hobby. This is part of like who you are as a soul. This is part of why you are here. And she wants you to like live that more and take it more seriously, not just see it as an interest that you have, but really think about ways that you can help people with this, maybe even on a professional basis. Is that something you've been thinking of before? Awesome. Well, there you got your confirmation that you should be doing it. Or are you already doing something in that direction? Let me unmute you first. Okay, go ahead.
I'm into makeup, and for a while I've been considering trying to develop my talent more and taking it to YouTube and see if I can try to build a career off of that, because I really do enjoy making people feel beautiful and confident about themselves, and makeup is a fun way to express yourself through. So I like that.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely go with it. Even like one step at a time, go for it. Let's see. She says you like definitely have her support. And she says like she's just like most nature spirits. She says I'm really good at like manifesting things, so I will help you with the inspiration and the vision. You need to take the human steps, the practical steps, because she can't do that for you. So you need to open your YouTube channel, um, shoot the videos, put them out there. And she says her name is Delphine with a PH.
Delphine.
Yeah, with a PH, not an F. So I'll type that in the chat for you.
You make us some mixed drinks, some mix.
Yeah, hold on, Ma.
Oh, I bought strawberries and berries and
All right.
bananas.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I hope this like supports you, and
Grandma,
definitely
you
let me
remember
know
that,
when your YouTube channel is up
that
and I
All
can
right, we'll
subscribe.
just be
Grandma, I
Thank
got
you.
in this video.
All right, bye. Thank you for coming. All right, let's see who else we have in the chat. I'm going to go with Erica. I'm going to invite you. And I'm also going to invite Carol. And let me check the time. Okay. And I'm going to invite Sequoia. I'm just going to keep inviting people until someone shows up, because it doesn't always work for everyone. By the way, in the email that I sent out, like the invitation email for the Spirit Guide Show, there is like a little section that says important, that has a link in there so you can check and test if it will work, like to come on screen. Maybe pay attention to that next time. But we have someone here. Let's see. Sequoia. Hello. How are you? I can't hear you, unfortunately, even though your mic is not muted. Can you try again? No, I can't hear you. Do you have headphones lying around somewhere? Yeah, otherwise we'll just go with the thumbs up and thumbs down, all right? Okay, so let's see. So I can't see anyone yet, but I'm already getting messages. What I'm getting is that you are a soul that came here to inspire tolerance, compassion, understanding. Yeah, tolerance, compassion, and understanding. Right, actually, it's a star being that's here for you. Can I see you clearer, please? All right. Like some star beings, this one doesn't show me if it's male or female. It is telling me that, yeah, again, you're here to inspire tolerance, compassion, and understanding. This also means that you haven't had like a super easy childhood. You probably stood out in some way or form. You probably felt like you didn't fit in, and you might still feel that. What will help you fit in is like, or feel like accepted and loved, is by finding other people that are like you, like a like-minded community in some sense. And the reason that you always felt different, that you always felt like a like you are the only one who doesn't fit in, is because that way other people are exposed to someone who's not like them, who's a little bit different in some way, and I mean that like in a positive way. So they can develop their, again, like their compassion, their understanding, and their tolerance. You can do this, like fulfill this purpose, either by suffering, or you can do it by taking on this task on a conscious level and realizing that there's a purpose behind it, and really being okay to stand out, being okay to be yourself, being okay to just like be your authentic self, because the point is that you inspire others. You inspire others to develop these like tolerance, compassion, etc. But you also inspire others to allow themselves to be themselves and not wanting to fit in necessarily. All right, does that make sense to you so far? Okay, awesome. Let's see, is there anything else? I'm trying to figure out which star system the star being is from. Okay, I'm not entirely sure. This is a bit unclear, but maybe you want to Google Vega. So that's VEGA. And see if that like speaks to you. Like you can also Google is like star seeds Vega. So star seeds and Vega, and see what comes up, and see if that resonates with you somehow. I'm not getting a name. The star being is, but it looks like a gray. So it has like little Hollywood alien style. So it's like gray, elongated head, not one of the smaller ones, but this is a taller one. It actually has something very elegant to it, and definitely 3 fingers. Yeah, it's a very elegant, very I don't know how to say it, like peaceful energy about it. It's very nice. Oh, there's also something about healing. You have healing abilities. Did you know that? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Like this being also helping you with like healing and these kinds of things. All right, that's it for just now. I hope that supports you. I hope it helps you. Thank you so much for coming. All right, let's see. Do we still have time? Not really. I think that's it with the mini readings for today. Because I still want to do Q&A, but if I answered all the questions, then we can maybe do another one. All right, so guys, if you have any questions about spirit guides, about claircognizance, about talking to your spirit guides through claircognizance, whatever it is, type it in the chat and let me know. Or if you, yeah, whatever it is. Hiro, I can't really read because you're typing in Japanese. So I don't know what you're saying. On Facebook, I can read it because there's like this translation feature. Here, I can't. So anyone have any questions? Let me see if anyone typed something in. All right, so Amy says, just wanted to say thank you. You are amazing at what you do, and I'm excited to learn from you. Oh, thank you, Amy. Robin says, what is the best way to communicate? That's a big question because it really depends like on who your guide is, and also a little bit on what your main clair is. So if you're a claircognizant, one of the 4 exercises that we did today might be helpful to communicate with your guide. Then also, again, like depends on the guide. Like if you have a nature spirit as a guide, then it might be useful to go out in nature and do it there. If you have an ancestor, you might want to like do some research into how your ancestors connected to the spiritual world and use that way to communicate with them. So it's really about finding out a little bit more, like what kind of spirit guide do you have? If any one of you don't know yet, I'll post my quiz in the chat. Give me one sec. So this quiz asks you 11 questions, you answer the questions, and then I'll tell you which of the 7 types of spirit guides you have. Keep in mind, this is a quiz, but it can't like, be 100% accurate, but it gives you a first way to think about it. And it's very often, it is accurate, actually, very often. So again, like take that quiz first, figure out which of the 7 types of spirit guides you have, then also do some research into how did people in the past, how do people now communicate with these specific types of spirit guides. There are when you start looking into these things, and let's just like try to use these for yourself. Don't just, no cultural appropriation, don't just like use whatever like a Native American tribe did, but adapt it to your own situation. All right, so next question. Amy says, my guide is an ancestor, but I don't know any more than that. Where do I start researching? It's not so much about doing the research. You could actually go back and do a DNA test and figure out where your ancestors are from. You could ask your grandparents where they're from, all this to figure out. But the easier way really is to sit down and like go into yourself and trust that you can talk to your ancestors, like this specific ancestor. And just main thing is to trust. Maybe you're not going to be right the first time, but when you practice, you can absolutely do it. So you can designate a place in your home, like for example, an altar for your ancestors, and then you go sit by that altar and you just talk to them in your mind. And then you wait for an answer through claircognizance, for example. So there are lots and lots of different ways to go about it. Amy says, sorry, how do I start the research? Like where? I would go like online and just type talking to ancestors or ancestral healing or ancestral medicine or things like this. And then you will get like a lot of like people that have ways to communicate with your ancestors. And then just browse around a little bit and wait for something that jumps out to you, like an exercise that jumps out to you, an article that jumps out to you, even if it's just like one sentence in an article. When something like that jumps out to you, that's your ancestors actually telling you, this is how I want you to communicate with me. All right. Okay, awesome. Then Erica asks, will you have a mix of types of guides? Yes, you can have a mix. Like I said in the beginning, we all have a team of guides. And it can be like one ancestor, a nature spirit, and a star being, or in any other combination. Absolutely, because they all have their own specialties in a way. They all have their own characteristics. They all come with specific gifts and also challenges. And all that is going to be in my book that I'm writing right now. So I hope like when it's here, you will be able to read that and learn more. But yeah, so you can have a mix of different types of guides. Absolutely. Now, Hero, you're typing in like, so I can read it, but I still don't understand it. All right. Any other questions? Let me see. I think I missed something. Oh, Erica, sorry. She says that I couldn't connect. Maybe next time. All right. So let me see what the time is. Oh, we still have 10 minutes. Awesome. So last chance to ask questions. Otherwise, I'll do one more reading. All right. So let's see who is here. I'm going to go with. Oh, wait. Who was that who just couldn't connect? Let me find you again. Erica. Oh, but I can't do it again, I think. Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay, I'm trying again to invite you on screen. Okay, here you go. I just invited you again. I'm going to invite someone else just in case. Like, let's do Helen. All right. Let's hope it works for one of you. Mm-hmm. Yes. There we have someone.
Hello.
Hi,
Helen.
How are you today?
It's my husband's birthday today.
It's your birthday?
My husband's.
Oh, awesome. Tell him happy birthday from all of us. All right,
Oh,
let's
well.
see.
Turbulent seas almost sunk their ship on the way to New Zealand. And at one point, Tiger escaped the cage from the hold. The baby survived it all.
All right. Definitely nature spirit, a strong connection to nature, a strong connection to plants. Would you understand that?
Yes, I do.
When
Okay.
Trevor arrived back in New York, he was worldly, daring, and ready to take on.
Definitely also connected to healing with plants. But more importantly, you have like connection to nature. You know that everything is conscious and sentient. So you don't see plants as objects, as beings. Would that make sense to you?
Industrialization.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, or you can say no, that's fine.
Yes, I do. As to say, as in the movie Avatar.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome.
Baby ship docked in New York Harbor. A Cleveland based inventor demonstrated his system of electric lighting in a Philadelphia apartment.
I'm trying to figure out if this is a female or a male. I'm not quite sure, but I do know it's a smaller being. It's like a gnome-like being, and these all come through quite regularly, obviously, because like things with our environment are not going well, and they're trying to get us to do something about it. So this one is like a gnome-like being. I think it's a male. I'm not 100% sure. It's not showing itself very clearly. Okay. It's also saying that you're hiding a little bit. Like you're hiding.
To see that. Part of what makes the circus such a powerful
I'm not
cultural
sure. Like it's almost like you're hiding your own beliefs, or you're hiding your like gifts and skills for fear of other people thinking that you're crazy, something like this. Would that make sense to you? Okay. Let's see. Well, this one, let me see, is their name?
lighting or the herd of 10 elephants with a nighttime parade.
Okay, this one seems to be a German gnome, and he says his name is Gunter. And I'll type that in the chat so you can see it. Do you have German ancestry by any chance?
Yes, I do. My father's full blood.
Ah, okay. So, so yeah, he says, forget everyone else. Forget like all the people that might think you're crazy or weird or whatever it is that they're thinking. It's about you. This is your life. You need to decide what you want to do with the rest of your life. Today is the, like they say, today is the last day of the rest of your life. And it's time that you take a decision about what you want for your life and if you are ready to fully live your purpose or not. And he wants you to make that declaration for yourself. Like write it down, go out in nature, bury it somewhere. Like if you have a favorite tree, favorite bush, favorite plant, go there, bury it there. And make that like statement for yourself that you are going to be yourself and that you are going to live your purpose and that you are going to use your skills, gifts, and talents to live that purpose.
Well, I plan to be a clinical psychiatrist going to forensics to help the police and people that need help. I've been homeless, I know, and been through a lot myself. I plan to help them also understand.
Awesome. Go for it. Like he
That's
is
what
like with, he
it's
has this,
gonna
go ahead.
it's gonna take me 10 years. I'm already 51. Hey, I don't care. It's gonna
Yeah,
fly by because I have the strength of the angels and everybody else.
good for you.
I already know.
Yes.
They're
Holy
behind me. I already had the numbers tell me from the angels.
Awesome. So yeah, it's like he is standing with his like hands on his hips and he's like, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, definitely do it.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much, my dear.
You're very welcome. I hope this supports you in your decision going forward.
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
Thank
Glad
you.
to hear it. All right. Thank you for coming.
Thank
All right. So let's see. What time is it? Because I have another class after this. So we have 3 more minutes. Last questions. If you have any, I'm happy to answer them. Oh, can you guys still hear me? Someone says you can't hear me. Okay, thanks, Carol. I'm not sure what's going on. Is it better now? Wait. Better? Okay, awesome. All right, thanks. So do you guys have one last question? I'm happy to answer it. All right, then I forgot to mention, if you want a reading from me, a one-on-one reading, you can get 50% off for a one-on-one 60-minute spirit guide reading. All you have to do is click the button that will pop up right now here under the video. You might have to scroll a little bit. Click that button, which will lead to where you can book the session. And then I want you to use the coupon code Spirit Guide 50. And I'm going to post this in the chat. Use that coupon code during checkout and you will get 50% off. The price will go up soon. I'm not entirely sure when yet. So this is one of your last chances to get 50% off. If you can't see the button, scroll down a little bit or look around. It's a green button. It says get a reading for 50% off. If you can't find it, then just send me a DM on Instagram or an email. Both is fine. No problem at all. And also, follow me on Instagram for more tips, tools, and resources that I post there. And here's my Instagram again. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you next time. Next week, I'll do another episode of the Spirit Guide Show. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.